There have been three versions of A Christmas Carol that didn't nail it. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens has been turned into movies more than 300 times since it came out in 1843. Since there are so many types, everyone can find one that works for them. There are a lot of different ways you can make Scrooge. He can be a duck, a doll, a cartoon character, a real person, a woman, or a man. There are, however, better models. People like A Christmas Carol because everyone knows the story, so it can be changed a lot without losing people. This is taken too far sometimes, which is a shame. The old story can be turned into something completely different by changing some parts of it. It's Christmas Carol, 2012. Hallmark movies are a holiday tradition, whether you watch them to make fun of the crazy plots and strange language or because you love how simple the stories are. The company released a modern version of Dickens's famous story in 2012. It's about a CEO named Carol who is too busy with work and has a visit from the ghost of her dead boss, played by Carrie Fisher. To save money in the future, only one ghost plays all three parts of Christmas past, present, and future. It looks like budgets were also cut at Hallmark, because even though lead actress Fisher is very attractive, the writing is very weak. Like any Hallmark movie, this one is nice and easy to understand, but it doesn't have the same fun and bite as the original or the best movies that based on it. A Christmas Carol, 2019. Charles Dickens is famous for writing about how bad people were in Victorian London. Think about Oliver Twist, a story about a young orphan who runs away from a cruel workhouse and tries to stay alive. Or David Copperfield, whose lesson is that being nice should be the most important thing in the world. This is also true for A Christmas Carol. In Dickens's world, Ebenezer Scrooge stands for the rich people who always put their money before other people's happiness. There are many ways to show this, but light and dark are one of the best. Darkness is cheap, so Scrooge doesn't have lights or heat in his house, even though he can afford them. But Bob Cratchit's house is bright and cozy, even though they don't have any money. It's not possible to feel good about the 2019 BBC drama A Christmas Carol. Every scene is sad and dark, even the ones that are supposed to show Scrooge how happy he could be. Some people liked how they really leaned into the darkness of A Christmas Carol, both literally and figuratively. But most reviewers agreed that the show's mood was way too sad. It doesn't even have the usual happy finish. Instead, Bob Cratchit's wife tells the ghosts they still have a lot of work to do and doesn't forgive Scrooge. Scrooged, 1988. Bill Murray plays a bitter jerk in this version of the old story, which is pretty much the same role he plays in every movie. This time, it's Frank Cross, a TV executive who has lost the Christmas spirit, pushed his wife away, and fired his most loyal worker on Christmas Eve. You should be able to guess what happens next. Critics hated Scrooged, even though the modern setting was said to make the story more relevant than ever. Most of them thought that the movie was just too mean-spirited. Funny parts of Cross's mean jokes and pranks are there, but the movie focuses too much on them and not enough on his magical change. What starts out as a hilarious spoof turns into a moral story that seems to appear out of nowhere. Many critics felt that it lacked heart, and Roger Ebert said that it goes on for too long and looks like an on-screen breakdown. It doesn't help that it looks like no one on set was having fun. Bill Murray said that shooting was misery, and director Richard Donner was honest about how hard it was to work with Murray.